What's up? Next episode of In My Eyes. It's been a while. I've done my first pro shows since I did my last video. New York, Toronto. I'm very happy with what I brought to the stage. I couldn't have done any better. I brought my best package to date. I was bigger, leaner, or just as lean. I mean, it's pretty hard to get, once you get striated glutes and stuff, you're close to 4%, 3%. And, I was very happy. I didn't place as well as I'd like to have. But, I guess that's part of the game. Everyone tells me, it's your first pro show, but that kind of bothers me when they say that. It's almost like saying, accept the politics. Now, not that I have sour grapes and think that I should have won. No, I shouldn't have, but I do feel like my placing didn't reflect my physique. I think I should have been a little bit higher. Most people probably feel that way too about themselves when they compete. You always feel like you should have did better. It's a little biased, but hey, I really do feel like I should have been better. When I look back and see the pictures of the shows, that's the greatest thing for me. That's the greatest thing I took away from the two shows. Well, the friendships I've made, but also the keepsake, the photos, standing beside Victor Martinez and, holding your own. Standing beside Juan Morel, John De La Rosa, Frank McGrath, being backstage with those guys, you know what I mean? Being one of them. No longer looking up to them, but being one of them. That's what the greatest thing I took away from the whole experience. What else can I say about it? It was a humbling experience, going from not placing, like I've always placed top 3. Every show I've done, I placed top 3 except for one. I think I got 4th or 5th, and deservedly so. I didn't look that great. I was soft compared to the other guys. So, but to go from always placing and placing last, getting last and second last callouts, that's humbling. That's a tough pill to swallow, but I've learned from it. And bottom line is, what I've learned is this is a marathon, not a sprint. I need to put more weight on. I put on 15 pounds in a year and a half. That was great. Now I'm going to compete in a year, probably Tampa Bay. And if I could put on 10 pounds in the next year, I see no reason why I shouldn't be moving up a couple call-outs. So I have a big frame. To be honest, that's a genetic gift. You can't change your bone structure, and I have a big frame. So I look as big as the guys on stage. When I'm standing beside them, I'm just as wide and everything. But I'm not 3D like those guys. They have smaller structures, so they weigh the same as me. They have more muscle on their frame than I have on mine. Once I fill up my frame, lights out. So that's it. That's those. So this time on In My Eyes, I'm going to talk about that, so to speak, I guess, genetic potential, and whether or not this should be a hobby for some, or whether or not this should be a possible lifestyle. And the reason why I want to talk about that is a friend of mine on Facebook said that, what he did as a hobby is now taken over his life, and he wants it to be a hobby again. He wants it to be fun. And I agree with him. If it's, if you take it as a hobby and it's, taken away from other aspects of your life, then, ease back. Don't let a hobby become something, don't let something you like and enjoy put a bad taste in your mouth. So, here's what I'm going to say about it as far as genetic potential. If you're born with narrow shoulders, wide hips, if you're born with a long torso, short legs, if you're born with short arms and I guess narrow clavicles or whatever, if you got proportion issues with your bone structure, chances are this probably isn't your sport. You're probably not, going to propel to the top, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Just it's not in your cards. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's just the way it is. That's what you're born with. Accept it and move on. That being said, everyone was going to say, well, what about Phil Heath? He's got narrow clavicles. Yeah, a little. Not like the guy's almost perfect. So if there's one little thing wrong with him, it might be, an inch or two narrow clavicles. I mean, it's not a huge thing in his case. I mean, the guy's a freak. Look at him. But so that one genetic thing. I mean, you can't change your bone structure. All you can do is change your muscles. Let's talk about the muscles in genetics. If you have to take pro level or even national level supplements to get to, to win your class in provincials, or you're not even winning your class in provincials with that pro or national level supplement regime, it's probably not in your cards either. What are you going to do when if you're doing that just to get to provincials, then what are you going to do when you're at nationals? You're killing yourself trying to get there. And then what are you going to do when you make it to the pros? I mean, you always kind of have to have a card to throw on the table. When I was in New York, no, I was in Toronto. I was talking to Phil Heath, and one piece of advice he said is, just do what needs to be done to get there. Don't go above and beyond, because what's going to happen when you're at the top and you're just doing and you're doing everything to get there, and this young gun's coming up and he's almost going to pass you. What are you going to do? All your cards are already on the table. You're just going to let him watch. You're going to sit there and watch him go past you is what you're going to do, because all your cards are on the table. You get nothing else left to play. So just do what you need to do to get there. I mean, supplement wise, I'm not talking about hard work and everything. You got to bust your ass, you got to rest, you got to eat properly, commitment, consistency, 100%. But as far as the other side of the game goes, more isn't better. Do what needs, just what you need to get there. Always have a card up your sleeve, and that's the best way to play it. Because like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long time thing. Other genetic aspects, I guess. Well, that's about the most important ones. Your bone structure, that determines your proportionate and all that. And then as far as muscle growth goes, it takes time. You can't force feed it. Muscle only grows at a certain rate. It grows at a certain rate this way, and then it only grows at a certain rate with supplements. I mean, more and more and more isn't better. So, the flip side of that, hobby and lifestyle. If you have the genetic factors, they play in your favor, then yeah, it's probably a good choice or dream, I guess, goal to have it. Pro bodybuilding is a lifestyle, and there's no money in it. There can be. You just gotta, that. It's another thing. Everyone thinks you and your pro card, you're pro now. You're well off. You're set, but it's not the case. Supplement companies aren't going to come knocking at your door. They just don't. You have to go out there and kick doors down. You have to build a fan base. Supplement companies will invest in you if you're something to invest in. I mean, you know what I mean? Why would, if nobody knows who you are, yeah, you might have won some cool shows, but no one knows who you are. No, you don't really have a following. No one can relate to you. Nobody cares what you say. Nobody puts value in what you say or believes what you say. Why are they going to put their name on your back? You got to have something to offer. It's got to be a win-win situation, and I don't know, that's the way life is. You want to progress in any aspect. It's got to be win-win. I mean, no one's just gonna walk you to the top, hold your hand and walk you to the top. If they do, well, you're one of the lucky ones, because I haven't seen it happen or heard of it happen. So if you are going to make this a lifestyle, if you do have the genetic factor in your favor and you're going to work your way to the top, you got to focus on other aspects of it too. You know, guys like Phil and Jay, and they're the most successful guys to do it in the sport, and it's not because they won the most Mr. Olympias, you know what I mean? It's because they took their fame and their work ethic and put it in other aspects of their career, I guess, and other aspects of their life, and they branched out, and that's what you got to do. So you gotta make yourself a product, and that's what I'm working on. So I do all these videos. And I feel like I can answer a lot of people's questions too with them. I mean, I wish I had these when I didn't even have the internet. No, I did, but it was very slow, and to be honest, I got most of my information from magazines and the old school guys in the gym. Just, you gotta know who to trust and who to listen to, but there's a lot of good information out there, and don't take everything at face value, man. Question everything. There's a lot of guys doing videos and stuff that are just full of shit. Some people might think I'm full of shit. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I'm glad people are questioning me, because if you just take everything I say at face value, well then, one, you're gullible, and two, you're just not willing to put in the work. You gotta, listen to what I say. Ask somebody else if they, if they believe it. If both of our values and opinions are on the same line, well then chances are it might be true. But if there's a big discrepancy between the two, well, somebody's messed up. You gotta question things. You gotta do your homework. Look into it more. Not everybody's the same too. Everybody responds differently and does things differently. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Not every program is gonna, not that it's not gonna work for you, but everybody's biomechanically made up differently. Some people can squat, some people can't. You gotta do your homework, man. What else could I talk about as far as the lifestyle? Yeah, the guy's doing videos, man. I mean, one guy did a video saying there's no such thing as overtraining. One of my heroes said that, the Ultimate Warrior. But yes, there's no such thing as overtraining. If you're in the gym, you can't really overtrain while you're in the gym for that session. You can't. The whole point of going to the gym is to break down the muscle tissue so it will heal bigger and stronger for the next time. So that's all. You want to go to the gym and overtrain. That's the point. Go to the gym and kick your muscles' ass so it's overtrained, and it says, wow, I need to get bigger and stronger so I can handle this workload the next time. That's the point. So no, there's no such thing as overtraining. But the flip side of that is there's under recovery. So if say you go to the gym and you kill legs and you don't give yourself enough time to recover, and you come back a day or two later and you do legs, well, I guess you could put that in the bubble of overtraining because you under recovered. You know what I mean? You're just broken down muscle tissue. Didn't get a chance to heal bigger and stronger yet. It's not going to grow. Or you don't eat enough to start the healing process. I mean, don't just take everything at face value. Just because someone says you can't overtrain, you can train arms 3 times a week. Only if they're recovered in time. Only, you know what I mean? And 3 times a week to do arms is a lot. It's a small muscle. That's crazy. Me personally, it's not in the cards. I used to do arms. I kind of did them 3 times a week, and I'm going to tell you how. I did chest and biceps. So I did secondary muscles, triceps on chest day. So I kind of hit triceps that day. Then I did biceps. So there's 1 day of arms. Then I did back and triceps. Same thing. Secondary muscle of back is biceps. And I did triceps. So there's 1 day, 2 days, and then I had an arm day. Well, my arms went nowheres. So I switched it up. Now all I do is chest and biceps, back and triceps. That's it. I only do 2 exercises for biceps, 2 for forearms, and I do 3 exercises for triceps, and that's it. And they've actually improved. So everybody out there, I'm improving my arms just for you guys. I know they're too small, so they're coming around and it's working. I just kill them when I train them, and I give them plenty of time to recover. So to do them 3 times a week, man, that's, if you're actually going to the gym and kicking ass, I find it hard to believe that you can do them 3 times a week and they grow. In my opinion, in my experience, a small muscle like that 3 times a week, definitely too much. You're under, I won't say overtraining, but you're under recovering, so they're not going to grow. That, just take things as not a face value, look more into it. That's all I guess I can say about it. So check your genetics first, put in some hard work, do a couple shows, see where you land.